Shalom, Hebrew Israelite family. Shabbat shalom to you. Glory and honor to the Father, Yahweh, the creator of heaven and earth, the sea and all that in them is, and to Messiah, YHWH, the prophet, priest, and king of the Father and of Israel. Glory and honor to Yahweh, and glory and honor to Messiah, YHWH. Greetings to the 12 awakening tribes of the children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and those that have joined us through the olive tree of the righteousness of the Father in the faith of Messiah always. Also, greetings to Sister Love Blue, Akawan Banya, Brandon Beckman, Sister Josie, Brother Frank, Sister Katura, Brother Superstar, Sister Daniels, Brother Castle King, Stephen Kelly, Jamal, New York City. Greetings to all of you. We're continuing our study in the book of Revelation. And at this point, we're in chapter 12, where we're going into some history. We're going into some history as the book of Revelation has past, present, and future within it. We're dealing with some past right now in the beginning of chapter 12. We'll be going into some present and some future in a moment. Let's look at first the book of Hosea. Hosea chapter 3. Hosea chapter 3. And the Most High likens the children of Israel unto a woman that he bought, unto a woman that played the harlot, and he bought her. In Hosea chapter 3, beginning at verse 1 and going down from verse 1 to verse 5. Then said Yahweh unto me, Go yet, love a woman beloved of her friend, yet an adulteress, according to the love of Yahweh toward the children of Israel, who look to other gods and love flagons of wine. So I bought her to me for 15 pieces of silver, and for an omer of barley, and half an omer of barley. And I said unto her, Thou shalt abide for me many days. Thou shalt not play the harlot. Thou shalt not be for another man. So will I also be for thee. For the children of Israel shall abide many days without a king, and without a prince, and without a sacrifice, and without an image, and without an ephod, and without a teraphim. Afterward shall the children of Israel return to seek Yahweh their Most High, and David their king, and shall fear Yahweh and his goodness in the latter days. So the prophecy is saying that we will be without a king, without an ephod, without a system, without a sanctuary for many days. And of course, that goes with Daniel chapter 8. And let's look at that. Daniel chapter 8, which we talked about in terms of the last power of craft, which is where we are now. But leading up to that, the cleansing of the sanctuary, which begins in verse 13. So let's look at I'm going to look at verse 8 down to verse 13. This is Daniel chapter 8, from verse 8 to verse 13. Daniel chapter 8, from verse 8 to verse 13. So the Most High said, In the latter days, the children of Israel shall seek the Most High, and David their king, and shall fear Yahweh and his goodness in the latter days. This is where we are now. Daniel chapter 8 talks about a long time, a history in between time. So let's take a look. Therefore, the he-goat waxed very great. And when he was strong, the great horn was broken. And for it came up four notable ones toward the four winds of heaven. And out of one of them, that is, out of the four notable ones, came forth a little horn, which waxed exceeding great toward the south, and toward the east, and toward the pleasant land. And it waxed great, even to the host of heaven. And it cast down some of the hosts and of the stars to the ground, and stamped upon them. Yea, he magnified himself even to the prince of the host. And by him the daily sacrifice was taken away, and the praise of his sanctuary was cast down. And an host was given him against the daily sacrifice by reason of transgression. And it cast down the truth to the ground, and it practiced and prospered. Then I heard one saint speaking, and another saint said unto that certain saint which spake, How long shall be the vision concerning the daily sacrifice? and the transgression of desolation, to give both the sanctuary and the host to be trodden underfoot. And he said unto me, unto 2,300 days, then shall the sanctuary be cleansed. Now, last time, when we got to the end, when Daniel was given explanation, he was not given the explanation for this, except to say this at the end of chapter 8, beginning at verse 26. And the vision of the evening and the morning, that's the days, the vision of the evening and the morning, which was told, is true. Wherefore, shut thou up the vision, for it shall be for many days. And I, Daniel, fainted and was sick certain days. After it, I rose up and did the king's business. And I was astonished at the vision, but none understood it. So it was going to be for a long time. Now, let's put it all together. The Messiah paid the penalty for sin for the children of Israel on Wednesday as the Passover lamb, as the Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread. That was on a Wednesday. Then on that Sunday, Messiah became the wave offering. And he said, I have not yet ascended to my Father, but I go to my Father and your Father, to my God and your God. He became the wave offering. During the course of the 7 weeks' time between that Sunday's wave offering and the Pentecost, Messiah showed himself for over 40 days to his disciples. And in the 40th day, he was taken up. And upon being taken up, he gave instruction for them to remain in Jerusalem until they should be endowed with power from on high. And when the 50th day, that is the 7th week, and the first day at the end of the 7th Sabbath had come, they were praying, and the Spirit of the Most High came upon them, and they began to speak with other tongues and other languages, and they began to do miracles. That was the early rain. That all happened in AD 31 in the spring. First, the sacrifice of the Messiah, then the early rain. The Bible also records that at the time of the Messiah's rising, other people rose up out of their graves and were taken up with the Messiah, which we see in the book of Revelation around the throne. So we saw this. And the next prophetic sign would be the trumpets, the blowing of trumpets. Now, we saw in the book of Revelation that there was a delay in the return of Messiah, which was the end of the 2,300 days. There was a delay until the servant should be sealed, a special delay for the special people that were going to be sealed at the end of the days, the 144,000 of the Father. And this is where we are now. So we're going through the history of the birth of the Messiah, the attack in heaven, the victory over the devil in the third heaven, with the devil coming down to the earth, now stuck on the earth. And that's where we find ourselves now. So the Messiah represents the man-child that was born of the woman. The woman, the mother of the Messiah, represents the 12 tribes of Israel. The mother of Messiah is the 12 tribes of Israel. Messiah is the man-child. The dragon is the devil. The Bible shows in the history a war between the dragon and Michael. The dragon lost the war and was booted out of the third heaven to the earth. And this is where we take it up now, which we just read about, how the people of Israel would be without the Messiah, without an ephod, without a sign, without the Father for many days. And then they would come back and seek the Father in the last days. And I said, we are in the last days. And then Daniel was shown there was a long time between the attack on the sanctuary by the Rome and the cleansing of the sanctuary by the Father. Okay, Revelation chapter 12 is where we are now. Revelation chapter 12. And we take it up where we left off, with the war that took place already in heaven before Messiah became YHWH, born of a woman. He was Mikael in heaven, and he stands up as the prince of us, as our prince. Daniel was told by Gabriel, he's the great prince which stands for the children of thy people. He stands for us as our high priest and soon coming king. This is Revelation chapter 12, beginning at verse 7. Revelation 12 from verse 7 to 9. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. So there was a war in the heavens before Messiah came to earth as a man. And in this war, the dragon was cast out of the third heaven. Okay. And his home is on the earth. And so what we are seeing here is a total domination of the planet by the devil, so that the people that belong to the Father are few. And they have in common a love for the truth of the Most High, and to glorify the Creator. That's what the remnant people have in common. It was never going to be a majority, as shown in the life of Noah. Noah's life is an example. Noah and his 7 family members created an ark that saved their lives. The rest of the planet Earth is populated from the persons that were on that ark. That is Noah, his 3 sons, which were triplets, and their 4 wives. The earth was populated by them. After the flood, Noah lived a total of 350 more years after the flood. 350 more. And then his sons were just 100 years old when the flood came. And so his sons also lived many centuries after the flood and had many sons and many daughters. And they're the children of Ham, the children of Shem, and the children of Japheth. And the Bible shows the earth was populated by these 3 men and their children. Okay. The Bible shows us after the Messiah became the Passover and he became the wave offering, then the first fruits of the Spirit was given. And now we're in the great day of atonement, and we're in the delayed part, whereas we saw in the 6th seal, the return of Messiah, we also saw a delay. And here we are now in Revelation 12, showing the history between the devil and Messiah. And so the earth is dominated by the devil. The Bible says he deceiveth the whole world, so that the majority of the populace of planet Earth will be unknowingly following the devil. And only those men and women who have an earnest desire to glorify the Creator by seeking truth will understand what's going on. The majority of the earth will not understand, which is why I always admonish you, please read your Bible. It's the only book you can trust. Pray to the Creator. He's the only one you can trust. Ask for his eternal Spirit to guide you in the way you should go and give you understanding. Most of the earth will not have it. Most of the earth will not have it. Drinking some ice water, as I had some very salty chicken today. Drinking some ice water. So most of the earth will not have the truth, as the devil deceives the whole world. Okay, verse 10. Revelation chapter 12, verse 10. So that's the past. Now we're going to the present and then to the future. Revelation chapter 12, verse 10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength in the kingdom of our Most High, in the power of his Messiah. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our Most High day and night. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. And they loved not their lives unto the death. They overcame the devil by the blood of the Lamb. That is what we've been calling justification and righteousness by faith. They overcame him by the blood of the Lamb. The blood of the Lamb is the blood shed for us to overcome all our sin. And by the word of their testimony, that is, bearing witness to the Father's righteousness, which is the gospel. Okay? The gospel of Christ, as we know, is defined in the Bible as the power of Yah unto salvation. It's a message of the Father's power to cause his righteousness to be revealed. And so the people that's going to overcome are the people that will receive justification by faith in the Spirit, and in the Spirit, the power of the Father's righteousness. These are the people that are going to overcome. It does not matter what church you go to or claim. At the end of the day, you're going to claim Messiah. No church, as much as they try, can give you eternal life and salvation. The Father can give it to you through the Messiah. No church can give it to you. And the ones that recognize this will get closer to the Father because they're closer to eternal salvation. The more people, the more institutions of man you have between you and the Father, the less chance you have of finding the truth. Okay? So that's where we are now. We're overcoming the devil by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. We are bearing witness of the Father's perfect righteousness and of the truth of his word. Again, I say his word is truth. There must be a yardstick by which truth is measured. You must have a yardstick by which you might know what is truth and what is not truth. It's not based on our opinion. Yah's word is what we believe to be the yardstick of what is righteousness and truth. Whatever measures to his word is truth. Whatever doesn't is a lie. The devil tries to make it confusing, but the word doesn't make it confusing. And in fact, what we saw in chapter 11 is they measured the temple and them which worship therein. They measured the temple. The plumb line is the measurement of righteousness and truth. And it's the word of the Most High. Okay? I really admonish all under the sound of my voice, if you can hear me, when you have a question about anything, pray to your Father. Seek his word. Seek his word and pray to him for understanding and wisdom. He will give it to you. He said through Messiah, he seeketh such to worship him. Yah is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. He seeketh such to worship him. My phone, I should have turned it off. He seeketh such to worship him. That is not on me. It is on you. I admit I am a teacher. And if you've talked to me or asked me questions, you will bear witness. I seek to point you to one who has the answer to all your questions. That is the Father and his word. We are so used to looking to man for answers. Get used to looking to the Creator first and to his word first. Particularly today, we have access to concordance even online. If you remember part of a word, you can look it up in the concordance and find verses that have to do with it. You can pray over it and ask the eternal spirit of the Father to guide you in the way you should go in everything. As I mentioned, last week, my wife and I did a thing and we didn't know it was just ahead of some other things that were coming. But the Most High had us move ahead of time. As a matter of fact, I should announce we're getting ready to move from this house. We're looking to stay in the same neighborhood, but we're moving to a smaller place. And it's part of what the Most High has ordained for us to do. But you see, all of us will be moving. All of us will. Some far, some near. All of us will. One of the things about the children of Israel that you would notice, once they came into Egypt, they were on the move from Egypt, and they stayed on the move till they got to the promised land. That's what the Feast of Tabernacles is all about, which is what we're waiting for at the return of Messiah. Right now, in the present, we're in the cleansing of the sanctuary and the preparation of our seal of the latter rain. We're ready, we're preparing for that. Once that is done, the Feast of Tabernacles means you will not be traveling anymore. You'll be home for good. And we're about to embark on that. So we're being prepared for that. But in the meantime, we're on the move. We're on the move. My wife was just telling me, man, little I knew when I married you, we'd be on the move. And we knew when we came here, we weren't finished. Okay. On the move. Children of Israel. Okay. Therefore, let's say verse 12. This is Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12. Therefore, rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So we know that the wrath of Asatan is made manifest in part in his deceptive power to deceive the earth. That's part of his wrath, his deception to deceive the earth. Verse 13. And when the dragon saw that he was cast into the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man child. Here's where we got, brethren. So the children of Israel are the women or the woman that brought forth the man child. And the dragon went to, what did it say? He persecuted the woman which brought forth the man child. So the children of Israel would be living under persecution because they brought forth the man child. So now you can begin to understand why Black people are so hated. We represent the woman that brought forth the man child. It's not because we're brown. It's not because of the shape of our lips or our nose. It's because we brought forth the man child. And that's why we're hated. Now, verse 14. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she was nourished for a time and times and half a time from the face of the serpent. This is the same 3.5 years that Revelation 11 talked about. Revelation chapter 11, where it talked about in Revelation 11, let's see, beginning at verse 7, and actually, we can actually start at verse 2. Revelation chapter 11, verse 2 says, but the court which is without the temple, leave out and measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles. And the holy city shall they tread underfoot 42 months. 42 months is the same as 3.5 years, is the same as 1,260 days is the same as time times and a half. Same. Wait, let's keep going. Verse 3. And I will give power unto my 2 witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth. These are the 2 olive trees and the 2 candlesticks standing before the God of the earth. And if any man will hurt them, fire proceedeth out of their mouth and devoured their enemies. And if any man will hurt them, he must in this manner be killed. These have power to shut heaven, that it rain not in the days of their prophecy. And that was 3.5 years that it didn't rain. And they have power over waters that turn them into blood, and to smite the earth with all plagues as often as they will. And when they shall have finished their testimony, the beast that ascended out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them, and shall overcome them and kill them. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3.5 days. There it is again. And shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in the graves. See? And then verse 10 in chapter 11. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them, and make merry, and send gifts one to another, because these 2 prophets tormented them that dwell on the earth. In verse 11, and after 3.5 days, the spirit of life from Yahweh entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. Yes, brethren. So we're seeing that beginning in the fall of 2027. We're seeing it. Praise the Most High. Okay. So that same time period is here in chapter 12, verse 14 and 15. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time and times and half a time from the face of the serpent. And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. So we can see this is going to be a battle to the end of truth and error. And it's going to get to the point where the dragon's going to put his forces together to try to kill us. Just like Pharaoh did in Egypt. They weren't going after the children of Israel to bring them back to Egypt. They were going after the children of Israel to kill them. And the Red Sea swallowed them up, if you recall. And they washed ashore, dead. Again, it will be difficult for unbelievers to follow what I'm saying to you. But it won't be difficult for you if you seek the Father Yah and his word. The Father never leaves us unprepared. As my wife and I bore witness, the day before it started breaking loose over here at our house personally, we didn't know that he was already leading us to do certain things. We didn't even realize until after. And then he gave me a dream that showed something else that happened this week, a very disturbing thing. Happened Wednesday. But he showed me beforehand. And that's the key, brethren. He will never let you be caught off guard. He will always show you. All you have to do is pray to the Father to glorify his name and seek his word. There will be no secrets hidden from you. It will be hidden from the rest of the earth, but not from you. Because the Father knows what the devil's plans are, even while he's thinking them. And he will reveal to us, like he has shown us when the Messiah will return. Before we know, he's showing us. Brethren. Praise the Most High. Verse 16. And the earth helped the woman. And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood, which the dragon cast out of his mouth. See? So as we are fleeing, we're the woman. We'll get help from the Most High. Well, look, as you read the history of our people when they left Egypt to go through the wilderness and took 40 years, did not they have help? Didn't the Most High cause water to come out of rocks? Didn't he rain down fowls from the heavens for them to eat? Didn't he give them manna to eat? Didn't he cause their foot not to swell or their clothes to get old for 40 years? Didn't he keep them in the middle of the desert? Well, he's going to keep us too. He's going to keep us too. Don't put your trust in man. Man will disappoint you. The Creator will never disappoint you, nor forsake you. Verse 17. And the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of Yahweh and have the testimony of Messiah YHWH. Again, let me test you. The testimony is the witness of the Messiah. What is the Messiah's witness, brethren? What is the Messiah's witness? That's right. Thank you, superstar. The gospel of, I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of Yah unto salvation to all that believe, to the Jew first, and also to the Greek. For therein is the righteousness of Yah revealed from faith to faith. Therein, that is the gospel of Messiah. That is his testimony. The righteousness of the Father is revealed in the faith of Messiah. So here we have the Father's testimony of his righteousness in the testimony of Messiah, and we obey his commandments. Remember what he said. Again, let's look at it in Malachi chapter 4. Malachi chapter 4. The two witnesses. Malachi chapter 4 shows us the two witnesses as illustrated in 144,000. Malachi chapter 4, beginning at verse 1 and going to verse 6. Malachi chapter 4, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith Yahweh of hosts. It shall leave them neither root nor branch, but unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings. And ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall. Ye shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be as ashes under the soles of your feet in the day that I shall do this, saith Yahweh of hosts. Remember ye the law of Moses my servant, the commandments of Yah. Remember ye the law of Moses my servant, which I commanded unto him in Oreb for all Israel, with the statutes and judgments. Behold, I send you Elijah the prophet, the testimony of the Messiah. I send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of Yahweh. And he shall turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the hearts of the children to the fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. Here are they that keep the commandments of Yah, that's the servant Moses, and the faith of Messiah, that's Elijah the prophet. There's your two witnesses, as illustrated in the 144,000, sealed in their foreheads with the Father's righteousness. Does that make sense, everyone? To some, it's going to make sense more than to others, because to some, you have heard this many times from me, whereas others, it's just learning it. But to some, you have learned it many times, and you have been reading your scriptures many times, as most people do not read the scriptures. Study your scriptures, pray to your Father. Be familiar with your Father and his word. He will teach you in wisdom the way you should go. He will never leave you or forsake you. He will never let you be caught flat-footed. He will always have you ready. We bear witness. He will always have you ready. It takes time because it takes time for us to learn to trust him. We've been hurt many times. I was telling my wife, we've been disappointed many times and hurt many times. We have. All of us have. But as you go to your Father and you go to his word, the times and disappointments become less. And he begins to comfort you and to show you ahead of time more and more that others can't see. But you'll see because he let you know. Praise the Most High. So now that's chapter 12. We're going to go into chapter 13, and I'm going to give you some homework because chapter 13 is the deepest of all chapters in Revelation to me, and it starts in Daniel. And I want you to, homework is to study Daniel chapter 7 for yourself. And then we'll go back into Daniel 7 tomorrow. But study Daniel chapter 7 and understand that Daniel chapter 7 is the same as Daniel chapter 2 with more descriptive language in Daniel 7. Okay, so Daniel 7 is for you to read. And Daniel 8, which is also an extension of Daniel 7. So read Daniel 7 and read Daniel 8. That way, when we go into this tomorrow morning, you won't be completely lost because there's a lot. Beginning with the animals. Look at the animals of Daniel 7 and in Daniel 8. Look at the animals. You'll see them in Daniel and Revelation 13. You'll see the animals. Okay? It's important as we realize where we are, where we come from, and where we're going. Praise the Most High. May the Most High bless you and keep you and cause his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you and lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Shalom, Hebrew Israelite family.